My name is Conor McCormick. I went to school at Gowran Tower and then studied my undergraduate law degree at Queen's before then applying to study the LLM in clinical education at Ulster. So I chose to study at Ulster primarily because of the course. The programme was advertised as being about access to justice and helping individual clients who couldn't otherwise afford legal advice. So I was really drawn into that, and that's one of the big reasons why I chose to apply. So following my undergraduate degree at Queen's, I spent some time in LA working for some judges, and when I was there I noticed some big problems as regards litigants in person. So we had a lot of individuals coming to court without any legal advice or support, and that was one of the big reasons that I felt the course would be right for me. So what was really good about the course was that it blended academic study with practical legal experience, and I found that very helpful. I didn't know whenever I started the course whether I wanted to go into practice or if I wanted to continue in research, and having the opportunity to try a bit of both really helped me make up my mind. As it turns out, academia was the right course for me. So in terms of the workload for the course, it was one of the busiest years of my life, but it was also one of the most enjoyable. We began with learning the substantive legal content in terms of social security and employment law, and then with that knowledge we were able to advise real clients in the second semester. And all along the way we had a lot of support. So in the first semester we had very regular contact with the legal staff, and then in the second semester we had weekly management board meetings where we were able to discuss what was going on in our cases and make sure that we were on the right track. So we began with sort of opportunities to simulate trials and practice our advocacy skills, and then that led on to actual real tribunal representation. And so that kind of confidence building phase was very important, I found, in terms of building your skills. I then found that very useful because whenever I moved on to tutor some law projects, I have tried to use the same sort of approach in terms of allowing people opportunities to practice their skills before putting them into the real scenarios where it really counts. So in terms of the transition from undergraduate to postgraduate study, the biggest difference from my perspective was the smaller group that I was working among, and so that meant much closer contact with the staff. It meant they were able to guide me through the content on a much more personal basis, and I've still got positive working relationships with the academic staff that worked with me on the course. So I think my advice to anybody thinking of applying to Ulster would be, it doesn't matter if you're undecided about the specific legal career you have in mind, so whether or not you want to go into practice or be an academic or whatever, it exposes you to all sorts of experiences and opportunities, and it has big links with a lot of potential employers too. So in particular we're placed with the Law Centre for part of the programme for the LLM in clinical legal education. Some other students were placed with the Citizens Advice Bureau. So there's a whole range of opportunities and experiences open to you. Having graduated from the LLM, I've moved on to begin a PhD, and my PhD taps into a lot of the stuff that I was learning about on the LLM too. In particular, a lot of my research concerns access to justice. I published a paper in my first year about access to justice in children's proceedings, which was inspired in large part from my time on the course. As well as that, the clinical approach to teaching has influenced me in my own approach to teaching as a law tutor now, and I try and bring all that to bear on my own methods.